Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with his first 2018 BICH back issue comic haul, and got a ton of books I want to get through, so I'm just going to get crack-a-lacking here. First few books here was a random act of kindness, or an act of kindness from a friend of mine, Bat Avenger, or Leslie. And if you're not sub to this guy, he has so much knowledge about comics, and he's one of the only few people that I watch that collect new books and talk about new books. I don't know anything about what's going on with Rebirth and all of that. The only things I do know is coming from people like Leslie and one or two other people that I watch talk about new books. But yeah, so he had a book, and I asked him if I could trade for it, and he said, I'm just going to send it to you. And that's just the kind of gentleman he is, and he is much appreciated, Leslie. And please let me know what you're looking for, and I will return the favor if I can. And please check out Bat Avenger and give him a sub. It's well worth it. He sent me Batman 32 out of the Rebirth. This is only the second Batman Rebirth book I believe I own now. So not quite sure what goes on in this book. Maybe you can tell me, Leslie. But this one, this one is the next one. Was another one. The Aquaman 10. This is the Joshua Middleton cover. I believe it's a Joshua Middleton cover. Beautiful mirror cover there. I know this was hot for quite some time there. And then this was the book I was really most interested in. This is Gotham City Sirens number 5. This actually finishes my Gotham City Sirens run, 1 through 26. So very stoked about that. And I thank you very much, Leslie. All right, let's just do a little bit of some news that just came out, I guess. Similar to what happened with Tom Strong, as we know or should know, America's Best Comics was bought by DC, and they're starting to pepper these characters in. Tom Strong was the first one, and now Promethea is going to make an entrance in the DC universe. I doubt these things will come into much, but one of the nice things about these America Best is beautiful Alex Ross covers on a lot of them, and this is one of those. So there's another one that's a variant that's like a 1 in 4. Really doesn't go for anything more, but if you're interested in that one, you can look for that one too. And then, of course, there's the Wizard insert. All right. Apparently, there's going to be a standalone Kitty Pryde movie now. So if you're interested in Kitty Pryde, her first appearance here is in X-Men 129. This book should be in your collection regardless. But and then this here I just picked up, and I thought it was kind of appropriate now. Is I as I mentioned a few bitches back, there's very few variants I really kind of am trying to get my hands on, other than the obvious ones. But this set here, the Revolution or X-Men Through the Ages, is one of those, and this is another one that I need out of the 14. So this is the Kitty Pryde 1 to X-Men 11. All right. Apparently this book is starting to gain some interest now. Apparently a copy of it sold for $85 by the CBSI website. So this is the 1 in 25 Tony Daniel to Batman 679. So if you're out digging in them long boxes, maybe you can find that. All right. Okay. As we all know, I'm going to get these out of the way here, or most of us know that the Venom movie is going to be based a little bit on this here. The story, the movie is going to be based on this a little bit. The Bride of Venom, Sinner Takes All. This is issue number 3, I think. This is the money book out of that series. But there's another series that are going to influence the story of the movie, and it was a 5-issue kind of a mini series type of thing that ran across 5 issues of the Spider-Man family, and that is the Planet of the Symbiotes. And the first issue here is Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Then part 2 is Spider-Man. Part 3 is Venom. part 4 is in the Spectacular Spider-Man, and number 5 is in Web of Spider-Man. And these are all flip books, so you may want to look at the back of these, and because you might not see these, flip it over. But they're specials, they call them, but they're the Planet of the Symbiotes. You can see up on top here it says Battle of the Symbiotes, and right there. And the 2 money books you really apparently want is Venom and Amazing Spider-Man. So parts 1 and 3. So, all right. Okay. Now I'm just going to go over some doubles I found recently here. I'll dig in. These will be obviously in the upcoming sale that I have. I found a Khazar the Savage number 11. It's the first Belasco, big main nemesis of magic. Found a copy of Batman and Spider-Man. I like them crossovers there. Battle Pope number 2 from the Funkatron series. This is the first work of Robert Kirkman. First Armin Zola, Captain America 6208. Ghost Rider number 21 was his first appearance of the Second Vengeance, I think. Ghost Rider number 1, first appearance of, is it Jamie Reyes, I believe. The GL Xmas special. This is interesting because it's an early Squirrel Girl appearance, but if you see that costume there, this is the first time this costume actually shows up, and this is quite a popular cosplay, apparently, costume, or at least it used to be. So that is a double, and I believe it's an early Deadpool appearance in this, maybe too. The Alex Ross Black Adam to Justice. Is it League? Justice Society of America. Justice League of America, Adam Hughes, number 34. This one-shot, the X-Men Return of Magic. This beautiful David Finch Lobo cover to Rebels. That's one of my favorite Finch covers. Spider-Man 2099 meets Spider-Man. This is the first time those two meet, and it's appearance of Venom in there too. X-Men, the Toys R Us one shot. This is an extremely early appearance of Deadpool. I think it's like top 5 appearance of Deadpool. Green Lantern number 1 out of the New 52. It's not the teardrop version. And then I found another copy of Spawn number 9, the newsstand variant. So if you're a Spawn fan, a newsstand fan, or an Angela fan, might want to look at those. Those will all be in the doubles. All right, moving along. Like I said, I got a lot to get through here. When I saw this book, I just had to snatch it. This is What the number 3. It's a cover swipe of one of my favorite Spider-Man stories of all time, Kraven's Last Hunt, and it's called Spider-Ham versus Raven the Hunter. But it's also done by Todd McFarlane, so very, very cool. I just had to have that when I saw it. Picked up another copy of Spectacular Spider-Man 27. This is the first time Frank Miller works on Daredevil. The reason I picked this one up is it's a JCPenney reprint, and I do collect those, so if you're interested in that. This next book here is called Journey of Wolverine McAllister. This is issue number 14, and the only reason I bought this book, it has nothing to do with the Journey book or any of that. You know, apparently it's supposed to be a pretty good read, and it's put up at Aardvark Vanheim, the same people that did Cerebus, but it's because of this. There we are. If you can see this back cover, this strip right here is done by Sam Keith, and it came out, I believe, either the same month or the second month, or the next month, excuse me, that Primer 5 came out. So this is the second work of Sam Keith, is in this book right here. So if you're a big Sam Keith fan, look for Journey, Adventures of Wolverine McAllister, number 14. All right. Some artist covers that I enjoy collecting. Here's some Dave Stevens covers. True Love, number 1. Vanguard Illustrated, number 2. King Kong, look at that book, huh? Is that not an awesome looking cover? All right, so those are all my Dave Stevenses that I found. Some Adam Hughes. This is Valor, number 12, Adam Hughes cover. Legion 35. Believe it or not, I did not own this. Happy to find that for a quarter. And then I found this beautiful Steve Rude wraparound of Space Ghost. This is Kamiko Attractions, and there was about, I don't know, 15 of these, and there's some rather sought after ones of these. There's a couple Dave Stevens ones, and I think maybe an Adam Hughes one in that, so something you might want to look for when you're trolling them long boxes. All right, let's see what we got here now. All right, I showed this book a couple of bitches ago, and when I talked about it, I got to give a nod out to Super Joe Tail. He mentioned to me how I could find the actual copy of this that I was looking for. This is A United Front. It's a 4-issue series, and what intrigued me, and I got to give the nod out to Yanni Gogolak, is that the first issue shows the very first appearance of Little Depressed Boy. And this has just been optioned, but it was a book I had on my radar for a while. Not this particular issue, because I didn't know about it until Yanni had pointed it out. But this is the first appearance of Little Depressed Boy. And when I mentioned in my bitch that I had picked this other one up incidentally, thinking it was this one, Joe told me that he saw the same video and he reached out to the actual person that created this and bought it right off his website. And that's exactly what I did. And as he warned, he said, this guy will take forever. I had to hound him to get my book sent. Well, the same thing happened. I had just placed an order for this book. That's all I wanted was $1 and I think $4 shipping or something. But he said, hey, I'm sorry. It's around Christmas time. And I'm sorry for taking so long. So I'm just going to send you the full set. So he did that, and there's the other 2 copies. They all have Little Depressed Boy in them, I believe. And then, so this one here, I do have a double of now. So if anybody's interested in a very early appearance of Little Depressed Boy. All right, found. This is the Danger Girl Wildcats preview that was given out at the 1998, San Diego Comic-Con. This is the same. This was released the same time as the 0 issue of Danger Girl, so it's the first time Danger Girl shows up. So if you want all the first appearances of Danger Girl, this one would be one of those to add on. All right. This book here, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, number 18 out of the DC run. This took this long for She-Ra to actually show up as She-Ra in mainstream comics. Before this, she was called a Donnie or a Dalna or something like that. She did not go by She-Ra, and she didn't utter the saying that I don't think it was the same saying as He-Man, but she had a saying nonetheless like He-Man. So this issue here is the first time that she actually adopts the moniker She-Ra, and it's a beautiful She-Ra cover at that too. So, all right. Found a copy of Captain Atom. I think this is issue number 82, I think. I don't know. But you want to make sure that it's not the modern imprint, because that's a reprint. But this is the first appearance of Punch and Julie. And they apparently are showing up in the DC universe. They were in the Doomsday Clock or something, I believe, or are going to be in the Doomsday Clock. This had an uptick for a brief minute there. I still think this is about a $40 book if you can find it. So still, nonetheless, but just like I said, make sure it's the Carlton, not the modern reprint. Found the Adventure Comics 276. They call this the robot chest cover. It's kind of a classic kind of a cover, but this was the Adventure Comics I was the most excited to pick up. This is some people call it a tryout. I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm calling it the first appearance of Aqualad. This is Adventure Comics 269. Very, very happy. I gotta admit, I'm not the biggest Aqualad or Aquaman or Submariner fan, but I love Teen Titans, and anything with the first appearance of a Teen Titan in it, I'm gonna have to grab. So this definitely fills that niche. Found Battle Pope Mayhem from the Funkatron series, #1. Also found one thing I'm working on this year is there's a couple things, but one of them is I want to try to work on my Elseworlds books. Now that I kind of hit the treasuries hard last year, I'm going to do that hopefully with the Elseworlds and the second one I mentioned in a little bit. But Elseworlds, I keep saying ad nauseum that there are more Elseworlds than there are what ifs of Marvel, and the similarities are there in both series. There where they'll take a story or a time and interject the hero and change it a little bit and make it interesting. Some of them are really quite sought after. Red Sun, Gotham by Gaslight, Speeding Bullet, a few of them. So this is Batman Two Faces. Really love that cover. It's got kind of like a kind of do that kind of a thing there with it. Picked up Justice Riders. Picked up Superman, Last Stand on Krypton. These are all one-shots. And then the Evil's Might, the Green Lantern, one of two of the Green Lanterns, Elseworlds. Okay. I like, as I mentioned earlier with that Batman, Spider-Man, I enjoy my company crossovers. This is Darkness Batman, and I'm sure there's a Batman Darkness, so I'm glad I found that book. I think I got it for like $2, less than that. Found Death's Head Gold, #1. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I know there's some Death's Head fans out there, but from what I'm gathered, this really isn't a variant of Death's Head 2, #1. You could buy these at the same time, apparently. Maybe they were a little bit more or something like that. But I don't think they were true variants. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Speaking of variant, I found this FF #2. This is a connecting thing. I don't know how many times it connects, how many covers, but beautiful Greg Horn cover on that one. So I'm going to try to figure out which all of these connect with it and look for those. I'm a sucker for connecting covers. Found this Flash Zero 1 in 25 sketch fold out cover. Found Justice League Justice League Zero. The only reason I bought this was it's Shazam on the cover and it's a combo pack. Have no idea if combo packs are doing anything anymore. I would doubt it, but they claim them to be more rare. This is Gen 13, a Christmas caper. It was more appropriate when I bought this back in the end of the year, but this is just not early Gen 13 appearance, so I thought I would snatch it. Found Incredible Hulk 441. This is the famous Pulp Fiction parody. But what makes this unique is it's the newsstand with the $1.50. So happy to pair that with my other copy. Found, here we go, Comic Fan. Now, I wouldn't have bought this book. I was at Half Price Books, and I see this book for $10. I'm like, really? So I pull it up, and I see this, that it's a newsstand, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. But then I look at it, and I realize it's kind of beat up, and there's a dog ear that just obviously goes right through it. But for some reason, I opened it up, and I wanted to look at it, and when I did, I saw this. It's a Mark Jeweler insert. So I'm definitely not going to leave Wolverine 340 Mark Jeweler insert there for $10. So I snatched that up. So now I have a direct edition, I have the newsstand, and I have the Mark Jeweler. I'm assuming there's a Canadian price variant, but I haven't found one yet. There isn't any on eBay. For that one there, that one, there's one on eBay, and they're asking like $65 for it. All right, found a couple of the Savage Dragon miniseries, issues 2 and 3, newsstand. Only reason I picked it up. Found Spawn Alley. I thought I had completed this little set of Toy Biz comic inserts. I had done a trade, I think it was with Comic Brains maybe a couple years back, and I thought I had received the one issue that I needed, but it turned out I needed the Spawn Alley one, so found it for $0.25, so happy about that. Strange Tales 105. This is just a very early superhero Strange Tales book. They started in either issue 100 or 101 with the superhero run of Human Torch. So happy to have that. I don't think there's any first appearances in this, but all right. St. George number 2 is this? This is the first appearance of somebody who shows up in, is it Mercs with a Mouth or Mercs for Money Deadpool series? This book here kind of surprised me a little bit. Love the cover. Love the fact that it's a cover swipe of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Is it number 9, I believe? 7 or 9. Death of Supergirl. But if you look on eBay, this book regularly sells for 10 to 15 bucks. Actually sells for 10 to 15 bucks. So you might want to look for Supergirl 79 when you're digging in them long boxes. See if you can find it. All right. Superman 139. This is just a very early appearance of, is it Lori Lamaris, I believe. She's a mermaid that Superman falls in love with. Found some DC Universe. They're all Supermans. Found them for $0.25. Wasn't going to leave them. I love DC Universes. Still, you know, like I said, there's over 500 of these, so I'm not busting my chops to get them all, but if I can find them, I'll pick them up. Found a copy of Vigilante 50. This is the last issue of the series, and it's the death of Adrian Chase. This is Wildcats number 1. Found it for $0.25, and it's a newsstand, so I wasn't going to leave that there. This is Witchblade 66. This is the 2003 convention exclusive, limited to 500 by Mark Silvestri. You know, that's a very good job that he did on Witchblade, I got to admit, for Mark Silvestri. So couldn't leave that one. Found this for $0.25. X-Force 19 is his first copycat or first Domino, I can't remember, but it's a newsstand, that's why I took it. X-Men number 20. This is an Adi Granov variant. I'm a big collector of him, so I got to admit this isn't my favorite cover of his, but it was $4.50, so I wasn't going to leave it. All right. Found a couple of Malibu Suns. This one here. This is number 14, which is the Savage Dragon. I'll collect these Malibu Suns, especially if they've got these predate the first time these series come out. This is not the first appearance of Savage Dragon, not even close. But this is the book I was, oh my God, I was most happiest to find. Been looking for this one forever and a day. This is Malibu Sun number 10. This is an easy $20 to $25 book on eBay. Sells consistently for $20 to $25 with no fanfare, no hype on it at all. And the problem is finding them. There's none on eBay right now, and there were only 4 that were sold in the last since mid-October. So good luck trying to find those, huh? Found Journey into Mystery number 112. This is the first. Is this the first time Thor and Hulk battle? If not, it's an early one, and it's the origin of Loki. And this one was on my 2018 want list, so I'm finally able to take one off of that. Marvel Age number 16, early appearance of New Muties. All right, this here book is X-Men Second Coming Book 2. Now, the reason I'm excited about this book is that with people speculating on the X-Force movie, which may or may not happen now with the Disney purchasing the rights, but people thought it was going to be that really hardcore, uncanny X-Men team that would be the one to be made a movie of, or hoping that would be. And people thought that team first made their appearance in this book here, Wolverine Road to Hell or Road from Hell. But actually, that team first appears in this book right here. This predates that. And it's right here. So if you're interested in that team, that first appearance is in X-Men Second Coming number 2. All right. I hope I got enough time to get through all these. All right. So this book right here, Rocket Ranger #3. Why am I showing you that book? Well, it has to do with this book, Planet of the Apes 23, and Rust #1. This is the embossed. Those three books all have the same Spawn ad that was all the rage about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, which predates Malibu Sun. These two came out in April, and this one came out in May, but it still predated Malibu Sun. So now I've got those three. I got Malibu Sun. I've got Spawn #1. I got Spawn #1, the newsstand. I got Spawn 3D Mocha with the Spawn glasses. I got Spawn Capital Collection reprints 1 through 3. And I got the Spawn Black and White. And I also have the Lotus Clam, which has the Crusade book in it, which this predates Malibu Sun 13. But don't get me started on that. All right, so now the only things I'm missing for that little first Spawn stuff is the errors of 1 and 13 and Malibu Sun, and then there's apparently a preview magazine. All right, so let's get through this last stack of books here. All right, I found The World at War. This is a DC Heroes tome, which kind of goes over the Silver Age heroes of the day. First appearance, powers, when they died, that sort of thing. I thought that was pretty cool. Distant Soil #1, first appearance of a Distant Soil. Buried Treasure #1. This is these are reprint stories, but it's got a great Frazetta and Kirby cover. But this has stuff in it by Frazetta, Kirby, Andy Kubert, Alex Toth, Wally Wood, that sort of thing. Extremely Silly Comics #1. If you look on eBay, there's I think 4 of them on eBay, and the cheapest one anybody's asking for is $53. And the other, no, it's $59. And if you look on the sold, there was one that was actually sold for $53 best offer, I think it was. I don't know why this book is commanding or people asking that kind of money. I believe it might be the first Anti-Otter Press comic, and I think it might be the first parody of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that came out in '86, and when the Turtles came out in '84. So, all right. The second thing I'm really trying to work on this year is my Marvel graphic novels. I want to try to get the original 75. Some of those that obviously you know about are the Death of Captain Marvel, New Mutants is the #4, Dreadstar, those types of ones. But I also, there's 75 of them. Right now I have 51 of them, so I need 24 more to go to get that. Most of them are like the Conans, the Wolverine, Spider-Man, and then the Ops things. So, but this is Silver Surfer Enslaver, so that's the other one. And the last book I'm going to show you is, I really had no intention of buying this book, except for the fact that it was going to bookend my Superman 75 Platinum. This is Superman 500 Platinum. But what I didn't realize, or I did realize it, it didn't jog my memory until I saw it on mentioned on a CBSI thing, was that this is the first appearance of Connor Kent, who was in the Super Sons and whatnot. And obviously this is the book you want of the adventures of Superman 500. Is the Platinum, once again limited at 10,000. This is I had every intention of buying. You know me, I don't like graded books, so I had every intention of wanting to buy this bagged. But I saw this on eBay with a starting bid at $25. So I thought, well, if I can get this for $25, I'll do it. But I ain't paying a penny more. So I got it for $25. It's an 8.5. Obviously, that's low grade, but I'm happy with it. I could crack this. I don't know what the grader notes is on this, if it could be improved with a pressing or not, but I don't know. It is what it is. I can always look for a bagged one later, but I would probably do that. So if any, but this is it. This is my bitch, and I want to thank everybody for taking this journey with me. Hope everybody has a great 2018. And I hope everybody had a safe and happy new year. This is Vin Crew signing off. And once again, thank you, Leslie, for those books. I appreciate it very, very much.